8 minutes. That's how long this Benchy took to print. The average Prusa MK3S takes around 90. The secret? A firmware called Klipper, running on a Nintendo Switch with Ubuntu installed, sitting beside it. So, let's talk about Klipper, a firmware that changed the way a lot of people run their 3D printers. By default, a printer like Prusa MK3S runs Marlin, a firmware that lives entirely on the printer's own microcontroller. It does the job, but a little 8-bit chip is doing everything at once, calculating movement, managing temperature, interpreting G-code. It's a bit like asking a calculator to run a spreadsheet. Klipper works differently. Instead of doing all the heavy lifting on the printer, it offloads the hard work to the separate computer, a Raspberry Pi, a laptop, or in our case, a Nintendo Switch. Yes, that actually works, and it works well. The Switch handles all the complex math and G-code processing, then sends precise low-level instructions to the printer's board in real time. So, what are the benefits? First, speed and quality. Klipper supports features like Input Shaper, which measures and compensates for the vibrations of your printer produced at high speeds. The result is a cleaner, faster print with less ringing and ghosting on your part. Second is configuration. Everything in Klipper is controlled through a simple text file, printer.cfg. Want to tune your pressure advance, adjust BID values, or add a new macro? You just edit a file. No recompiling, firmware, no flashing, just save and restart. Third is the flexibility. Klipper opens the door to things Marlin can easily do, like multi-extruder setups, detailed resonance compensation, and a slick web interface called Mainsail or Fluid, that lets you control your printer from any browser on your network. The Prusa MK3S is already a great printer. Klipper just gives it a brain upgrade. Today's video sponsor is PCBWay. If you build things, PCBWay is worth knowing about. They do PCB fabrication, CNC machining, 3D printing, and sheet metal all under one roof, with fast turnaround time and competitive pricing. And if you're new to this and not sure what to order, PCBWay has a shared project section where the community posts open source designs that you can order directly. It's a great way to get your first part made without needing to design anything from scratch. I've used them for my own projects and the quality was amazing. If you're a new user, you will also get a $5 discount on your first order. Make sure to check them out. Links in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Now the fun part. I installed Ubuntu Linux on Switch using a method that I won't be detailing here for obvious reasons. I boot into it through Hekari bootloader and from there it runs just like any other Linux machine. Once the switch is up and running, the easiest way to get Klipper installed is through KIAUH, a script available on GitHub that handles the whole installation process cleanly. Here is what you install in order. Klipper, the core firmware layer that handles communication between the computer and the printer. Moonraker, the API layer that bridges Klipper and your web interface. Mainsail, my UI of choice. It's in more active development than Fluid, has better file management, a better built-in code editor, solid system monitoring, and just overall cleaner layout. Once that's done, exit KIAUH and move over to your main computer. From here I follow the Prusa specific config guide on GitHub. You connect to the switch over SSH, install the Prusa dependencies, and upgrade the Moonraker config file with the right updater settings. Then you create the printer.cfg file and drop in the base config. We'll come back to tweak it after flashing. Next, navigate to Klipper directory and run make menu config. This opens the firmware build settings. Select Atmega 2560, that's the chip that the MK3S uses. Enable low-level configurations, then save and run make. Before flashing, there are two things to do on your printer side. Save your Z offset from the LCD menu and run XYZ calibration. You need that Z offset later. Now connect the printer to the switch via a USB-B cable. In Linux, run this command. This gives you the printer's unique serial ID. Copy it, you will need it twice. Run the flash command pointing to that ID. You'll see the printer's LCD showing a firmware update screen. Once it's done, paste the ID into printer.cfg to establish connection. If everything went right, Mainsail should be live in your browser and the printer's LCD will show the Klipper interface. Paste in your saved Z offset and you're connected. At this point you should do a full calibration, but I went straight to the fun stuff. I tuned the nozzle PID, bumped the stepper motor current, ran input shaper to dial in resonance compensation, and then I just started pushing the printer to find its limits. I found them. 400 mm a second at 17,000 mm per second squared of acceleration. For a bed-slinger running stock hardware, this is a genuinely impressive result. So, time for a Benchy. The Benchy looks about as rough as most prints you see on this channel at these speeds, but it printed in 8 minutes and 41 seconds. The Prusa MK3S stock about an hour and a half for the same print. Is it perfect? No. The real limiting factor here is the toolhead. The stock hot end, extruder and cooling just can't keep up at these speeds. With an upgraded hot end and a better part cooling, this printer would be a completely different machine. But even with all that, 8 minutes and 41 seconds just by connecting a Nintendo Switch. So, to sum up, Klipper is one of the best things you can do for an older printer like the MK3S. It's free, it's powerful, and apparently you can run it on a gaming handheld. But for most people, a Raspberry Pi is a better choice. Of course, links to everything is in the description, except for the Linux tutorial. If you found this useful, make sure you subscribe for more 3D printing content. and I will see you in the next video.